What's up, everybody? This is Super Mike 2164 coming through real quick. And let me drop this link just for everybody who wants to come up. You know, haven't came up did live too long. And we want to talk about who actually deceived the whole world. What's up, James? There you go. Who deceived the whole world? Oh, I pushed that the wrong way. Yeah, but who is that? So we got to put a face on Satan. That's the thing. Right. So what's up, guys? This is Super Mike 2164. We're just coming through, just having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of deception in this world. And, you know, we know that people can deceive. There's a lot of deceivers out here. Lies abound everywhere. But is there a one particular seeable? See, I want to get this to, you know, who's actually deceiving the whole world? What's the world? You know, because a lot of these things we gotta see, yeah. Where is he at? That's who we see. See, the thing is, one of the things behind deception is the ability to be confused. You know, you can't really pin them down. You know, we don't see you. Confusion. And then it's easy for the deceiver, deceptive party to confuse everybody, to deceive everybody. See, that's how they deceive the whole world. Because it's like, you know, we could say Satan, we could say Lucifer, we could say devil, and then people could come up with anything. Yeah, you know, they can come up with anything in their mind to that. But when you start putting people behind some of this stuff, that's when you start getting into trouble. And that's when you start waking people up. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Maybe. Okay. So what part of it? But now the thing is, what we got to understand too is who is deceived in doing evil because of their deception. They are part of the people being deceived, and who is the actual author of that deception. You see? So we want to go through some of this here. Just want to go through, you know, just some conversations on this, and also just some of the current events that was going on. We see that a lot of us, you know, we have a lot of things going on. So there's a big trial down there with, was it her name, Fannie? You know, Fannie Willis, and her guy, that her employer, what's his name? Wade. That's happening in this world. We got real estate going on, people deceiving folks out of their properties, people deceiving folks in church. You got churches, mosques. Then you got the internet, of course. So now, the first off, if Satan deceived the whole world, are you a part of the world? Are you deceived? Are we deceived? See, this is what we got to be. You know what I'm saying? If we don't know, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. And see, what criteria are we using? What is our criteria to verify what deception is? And then how do we know that we understand the criteria? Fruit is a fruit. How you judge a tree? How do we judge a tree? So let's go through a few things here. I've been also doing some content over there on our B1 Math, Science, and History channel. So sometimes I do stuff over there, uh, which is just math, science, and history that I go through. But those are some of the stuff that I was doing. Let me go through this. There's this guy whose name is David Gottlieb. What's his name? Dawood Gottlieb. So let me see if I can play this right.
And by the way, the Rambam writes explicitly that everyone has some good actions and some bad actions.
Hold on.
Now,
I guess I can show y'all this. Hold on one second. Let me share the screen. I'll share the screen real quick. Yeah, the fruit it bears. Yeah, exactly. That's the only way we judge. Because sometimes we think we know something and we just don't want to admit we don't know. But let me see something here. Let's do it this way. There you go. So this guy here, let's see what he says here. We see what's up. We see with the, the hat and all that. Let's listen.
Part 2, chapter 2. What we've said so far is that people have free will and their actions are some are good and some are evil. And by the way, the Rambam writes explicitly that everyone has some good actions and some bad actions. Everyone. And he takes it for granted that there'll be a variety. We talked about the fact that this world and the next world are asymmetrical.
Hold on. Did you hear how quick he said that? He said this world and the next world. So keep in mind, guys, this is language that we're dealing with. This is why it is not easy. These are very deceptive stuff. If Satan and Lucifer will deceive the world, do you think he's going to leave the book of God alone? The paper and ink that you got? He ain't going to touch that, though. Come on now. He can't touch the paper and ink that we're reading. He done changed the language that it was written in, because right now we're not reading it in the language that it was revealed in. We gotta be careful. How about Nagila's people? They had access to those original books and those original languages, and they have the money. They have the printing presses. They have the publishing houses. Okay. Are they going to touch your education to deceive you? Are they going to leave business alone? How are they going to deceive the whole world? This man says this world and the next world. What does he mean? World. It's only one world, right? Earth. Is that what he's talking about? This is how they get us with this language. We better, think and listen. You're not. We got it. So let me go through some of this. So there. Let's listen to some more of Daoud Gottlieb. Now I hear this guy's influential. I haven't really heard too much about him, but let's look at him. Remember, nobody's talking about the underground caves they have in New York. That was literally exposed. How come nobody's talking about that no more? Whose control is the media? So this, they're going to use that to deceive.
The next world is where the majority of the person's actions, which determines identity.
Hold on, let's listen to that again.
That this world and the next world are asymmetrical. The next world is where the majority of the person's actions, which determines identity, are compensated. For the righteous, they exist in the world to come and they're rewarded. And for those whose major complexion is black, are excluded from the world to come. And in this world, the minority is.
What did he say? Did he say the people whose major complexion is black are excluded in the world to come?
Complexion is black are excluded from the world to come.
Okay, interesting. So who's designing these worlds? Okay, so now who defines each one? See? Now that's a deception there, because it's true. We see based on how these people are operating now, the world and the earth are not the same, which is true. But how many people know that? How many people were under the impression for generations the world and the earth were the same? How do we have to find that out? That they wasn't talking about the same thing when they said world and earth. See, we gotta, like I said before, guys, we want to make sure that we're thinking. This is the thing is, a lot of us, this is where the deception, this is where you see a lot of negative stuff going on in the planet, especially based on the laws and the results of nefarious activities by people and human beings. Then you got to understand who are the top groups in power in the world of human beings, the human world. Okay, this is what we're talking about. Worlds. It is nations, nationality the top power in the world, or is racial categories and groups the top powers in the world? Are what else could be? Are genders the top power in the world? Are religions the top power in the world? Is it, if you have the same religion, are you included in that power? Are you included in that world? According to this guy, it looks like racial categories trump the religion, because he didn't say if you believe like he wants you to believe. He said if your complexion is black majorly, so that even leaves leeway. That's deception there. If the major complexion is black, how can your that means you're gonna have a middle ground fighting, like, oh, I ain't that black, I ain't black, I'm gonna bleach my skin. See,
they exist in the world to come and they're rewarded. And for those whose major complexion is black, are excluded from the world to come.
See, to him that you're excluded. Now the thing is, So this is what the guy said. Now, who is this dude? All right, let's see. Who is he to be saying anything? He's communicating. He's let's see what let's just see what let's just see what Google say. This is now Google is their they own it. They're people. Interesting. Google is so powerful. Their people own it, and we look to Google to give us answers. Can you be deceived with the types of answers that you're being given? Interesting. Oh, David, rabbi. He's a rabbi. Wow. David Gottlieb. He has an official website. So he's probably not going to lie on himself if this is his official website. He's having received his PhD in mathematical logic at Brandeis University. Rabbi David Gottlieb went on to become a professor of philosophy and John Hopkins. John Hopkins. David Gottlieb. Introduction into the Torah. So he teaches, he's a teacher. A teacher is respected. He's teaching people to think like him. He answers questions. Okay. So let's look into this John Hopkins thing just a little bit, because we know John Hopkins, they stole some black people's cells, and they always seem to be in the center of every damn murder, death plot, genocide plot that happens. Yeah, you're gonna get probably more than a paper bag test. You got to go in front of them and they decide. You know how they run Hollywood. They put a couch test, right? So this is kind of how this is how these folks get down. So he received this, he received that. An accomplished author, lecturer, rabbi, has electrified audiences, presentations, ethical. Interesting. Presentations on ethical and philosophical issues. So he's very ethical. Interesting. So they actually how Rabbi Gottlieb became religious. Interesting. So he's a teacher. I'm not worried about all that. I'm not reading all that stuff. So he was 5, 16, 3 years. Okay, let's see what other people say about him. Just want to know what you're dealing with, because you got to realize when you're dealing with these people, their words can be backed up. So even if people are saying and speaking insanity, but if they have power behind them, then you must look into them. You must take them seriously because of the power that they can use to try to enforce their ideas. So the thing is, and it doesn't matter how valid our ideas are, reparations, whatever, if we don't galvanize the necessary power to back up our ideas, why should anybody listen to us? Why should anybody take us seriously? So, yeah, so let's look at that. I just want to see what somebody else says about this dude. So he has a bunch of videos, Rabbi David Gottlieb. That don't look like the same one. So I'm going to try to pass that one up. This is the one I'm looking for. Let's try that one. See what this says. David Gottlieb. Okay. senior faculty member. Oh, so or so much in Jerusalem. Hmm. We're gonna do a little research on it. See, this is what we should be looking into, not trying to beat each other up. I was listening to, now, first of all, happy Savior's Day. I'm in the Nation of Islam. So we have, this is something else that everybody should know about. Let me switch over to this real quick. Especially Black Americans. Black people, call no man rabbi. Okay. Interesting. Okay, I would like to see that. Where is that at? We got to find that one. Call no man rabbi. Interesting. Yeah, we need to find that. Because, these people, that's their thing. But the thing is, though, okay, so this is one issue that a lot of people have been deceived on. It doesn't matter how much fruit, good fruit, the tree bears. People, because of the media, which we know is under the red media's control, because of constantly negative this and negative that is promoted. We looking at Minister Farrakhan, the Nation of Islam, as something of a bad thing. A lot of people still do. And it's, you ask yourself, okay, what are the fruit they're bearing? Is it evil? Because you can't say that somebody's teaching evil and satanic ideas, and the official and the majority of the results from the work of these people is relatively good, especially if you compare these people with someone else, with other acceptable groups. That's interesting. So but they argue, but they said that Jesus was what? Anti them. Because he said that, synagogue of Satan and stuff. So, there you go. The Protestant. Mm-hmm. There you go. So yeah, there you go. But the thing is, though, so we had Savior's Day. Well, Savior's Day is tomorrow, actually, officially. But let me see. The minister spoke today in Detroit, and it was a very good event from what I've seen. I'm going to try to make it next year. I don't promise myself I'm making it next year, so I should be in Detroit this time next year with the family and everything. But we were teaching, boy, and the thing is, they hate the minister. These people do not like Minister Farrakhan. That's Minister Ishmael.
You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free.
But Minister Farrakhan, he went in on them. He goes in on these enemies, and he lets you know in advance. Now, a lot of us, this is part of a deception, because we have these perceptions of people based on this particular group of people who Dovey or David belongs to. they know how to work on our minds. They know how to work on our subconscious mind. So let's look. I mean, this man is telling you that he does not want. He came up with his little studies. So, but we listen to people like this. In his little studies, he done came up with black folks is not going to be in the next world. So, what world are we in now?
Contrary.
Hold on. I'm trying to find what I'm seeing. Get back to it. What world are we in now?
In this world, the minority is addressed. The wicked who are going to be lost in the world to come get compensated, rewarded for their good actions in this world. And the righteous will be punished in this world for the minority of bad actions that they have. And the Rav notes at the end of the chapter, this begins an explanation of why righteous people suffer. This is a big deal. Righteous people suffer. It's one of the most famous complaints against religious belief. To believe in an all-powerful, all-good, all-knowing God. It's hard to understand why righteous people suffer.
So the man says, this guy says, I guess he's trying to explain why righteous people suffer. Right, Imam. Now, the thing is, this is what you got to understand. We have to ask ourselves, we now can see these folks, they have some issues here, serious issues of righteousness. Why are they so powerful? Because that's kind of seems like he was asking that question. Why are they powerful? And why do we, supposedly the true, I hear a lot of black folks saying we're the true Israelites. And, we got to understand, if we don't get, we get our definitions from these people. So, I mean, how are you going to be on a firm footing to understand anything? It's very difficult to engage with the minds of our people, especially the one if we don't. To me, you have to deal with a truth. We know what truth is. The truth doesn't change just because we are dealing in what's going on, James.
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
What's up? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah. The truth doesn't change just because we're reading the Bible or a Quran or a Torah. The way you analyze basic truth is the way you analyze basic truth. And when stuff is not turning out the way you thought it should turn out, somebody made a mistake or somebody lied or something happened. You got to go back and check it out and see what's going on. What's wrong? Is it my understanding? Did someone lie or what's happening? What's up? What are you thinking about this, James?
Well, there's good people and there's bad people everywhere in every organization. I think that a lot of things are a little bit confusing because they call themselves the same. And I'm not like, let's say, Israel and Israelites. I believe the Israelites come from Ethiopia. And I think the whole Israel thing is a complete different story. And just like the Nation of Islam under Farrakhan is not the same thing as Islam. It's something different. It's taking on or seems to push kind of a little bit that narrative. But I've spoken to a lot of Muslims myself and had great conversations with them. And then I ask people about Farrakhan, and it's just like, oh, okay, it seems to be like, well, go get the book. You do your research, and I'm like, all right, well, how about we just chat, you know? But
Right.
anyway, it's there's deception everywhere. I used to be profound anti-religion, profound anti-everything, but there's a necessity for it. You know, there's a necessity for everybody to believe in something. Not everybody is, let's say, as I don't know, healthy-minded as some other people are. You know, they need something, and I mean, it's okay. I understand that people. It's a social gathering on a weekend. A lot of people do business in church. Or they that's where they meet, you know, that's where they all get to meet each other on a Sunday or even a Saturday evening, and just meet with all the people that they're like-minded with, you know. And this is for everything, and this might be for Muslims, this might be for um, any church, and I'm trying not to say a black church or a white church or a predominantly white church, but that's how a lot of communities will work. Like if you're in let's say in northeastern America
So
versus
let me
if
ask you this
you're.
question. That's good that you
Yes,
did
sir.
say that because it's true. Now let me ask you this: do you think what grouping mechanism? Because human beings, we have grouping mechanisms. So we have race, right?
Mm,
You have religion.
mm.
You have nationalities, um, and I think let me see, those are the main ones. Of course, you have probably educational status and
Politics.
political stuff. Political,
Oh,
yeah. So,
mm.
what do you think is the dominant on the whole planet? I mean, just in, I mean, now there's each nation maybe have a more or less because we have communism and what do
Yeah,
you call
yeah,
it,
yeah.
socialism and
So
stuff. So,
what
but
what
as
I
far as on the planet Earth, do you think racial category is more, uh, I guess, dominant, or would you put it in religious categories, or would what
I
would you
just I think,
would you
you
put
know,
it as more?
it's hard to say, but I mean, most countries in this world, they just want to live in peace. You know, I mean, people are born; they're not born into war. They're usually born into peacetime. Um, I think this whole pointing a finger at others and not sweeping in front of your own door first um, is a big thing. So you can always point your finger at Africa. You can always point your finger at China. You can always point your finger at Russia. But there's deceit going on in the background. You know, somebody's paying for things to look worse than they are. You know, I think who is the biggest to lose here? If you look at the entire world of people and everybody wants to strive towards equality, at least equal basic human rights, you know, stuff that you might not even have in the US because you've just capitalized on it, you know. Like you might work all your life, you're insured, no problem, and then all of a sudden you get in a car accident, they fire you don't have insurance, and a week later something comes up and you're screwed. Like
Yeah,
no one's going to be there. So, and I think that's a little bit unfair, but
so that's
it
more like a capitalism situation.
yeah, it's because capitalism just means that everybody and look, I'm not against capitalism. Everybody needs to capitalize. It's part of it. Everybody needs to capitalize. Everybody needs to socialize. You have to share all that money that you make with your wife and your children, and you do it because, well, you want to raise a good
Right.
family. You're not going to hold back the money. Oh, you guys get mac and cheese, and I get turkey dinner. So you do, and that's your community. That is your communism. if you take a lot of the politics out of stuff, let's say if capitalism, and then you take the politics out of it, because a lot of that money is just going to donations, or all those war funds that are just leaving the country. And then you, me, it's not even about race anymore. It's because it's all that money is just going to war, you know?
But who's the one benefiting? See, this is what I'm saying, because nothing happens unless someone is benefiting. So
yeah, yeah, of
so
course.
my thing is this. So if
Well, that's the thing. They're
Mhm.
benefiting off the misery of others.
And but who, see, this is this is the hard part, because a lot of times that, if we're not getting at who, if we can't point the finger at anybody. Now,
Well,
sometimes the finger does need to be pointed, but now it is very tough to say, to point the finger and not be hateful in pointing the finger, but it's a legitimate, uh, standard of right and wrong, and because of this, because of that, because of this is the reason why the finger is pointed at you people. It's not because of something that is not necessarily
whites
important.
is what you're saying.
Right. Right.
You're pointing at white people. Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, because black rights didn't come anywhere else but from white people wanting black people to have rights. So basically, we were the dominant race. We came from England, we left, and the whole story is known. But whatever happened to the people that were living here, nobody cares. We brought us, and then we brought you, and then you worked for us, and then we figured, oh, well, maybe we should give you equal rights, and then you can also pay taxes, and then we'll have twice as much money coming into the government. And then, oh, wait, it was the government, wasn't it? Because the government makes laws, and only the government, I mean, we can vote for them, but technically we vote for people, and then they can do whatever they want to. So the U.S. government is pretty much it. I'm sure, and I saw this somewhere. Yeah, that's how the privilege came. I mean, we slaughtered pretty much everybody that was here. And yes, we can say that they were killing each other too, but
well, there's a justification.
Everybody's
but
killing each other
here though too, because even that particular history, because there's history also that they have, there's a particular group of folks who actually benefited more than other folks when even that expanded, because who sent Columbus over?
Oh yeah, but those kingdoms were systematically taken apart. And dude, don't get me wrong, you look at the cities and how they're built with their stones and huge palace size structures all over the city. Yeah, that had to come from somewhere. I mean, that just that just didn't come out of nowhere.
Like Belgium, for example, in the Congo.
Yeah. But you have to also see now it's the whole way around, because everybody here has been deceived. Sure, there are people that still have money, but dude, I mean, these last 5 years since COVID, Europe's gone down the drain. The politics are going down the drain. The people are. It's just oh, we need to protect the Ukraine. Oh, we need to do this. Oh, dude, they're getting hit hard over here. They're getting their fair share of no, this is too much. You had your fair share, and now there's going to be no electricity for you for a year or two. So it's but like you said, there are still big families out there, and those are the ones that are not getting hit. They've secured themselves, like you said, over generations and generations. But a lot of white, let's say it this way: in Europe, you could consider yourself privileged if you weren't in the Soviet Union. Yeah. So if you were in Eastern Europe, if you were in Western Europe, you could consider yourself privileged. But and now everything's turning kind of like into Eastern Europe. Everything's cold and everything's turning to be the same for everybody. Not better the same, but worse the same. So yeah.
But the actual wars of that and the see the suffering. Let's say because of course now we have a racial categories called black, white, uh, brown, and all of that stuff. I mean, it's there, but I think the main categories are black and white. They do have brown and yellow and red, but I don't know. Do they
Oh, for
really?
you that is.
Is
You
it,
you need to get.
are the
Huh?
people that because I don't really hear people calling themselves brown. I mean, I know that they say that they are brown. Some people
Well,
but
I
it's
mean,
like
yeah, but you have to understand everybody that goes into the sunshine or lives in the sunny side of the world is brown. My wife goes
yeah, well,
outside and says in the sun she's brown. But if she would prefer to stay inside because she stays white, you
right.
know. But if
Okay.
I mean when I'm in Thailand, they're all brown. Everybody's brown.
But when
I'm
we're talking
surrounded
about
by brown people.
but when you're talking about racial categories, the category is a color, but it's not an actual color. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
black is not a color, isn't it?
Exactly. None, especially when we're talking about
So
racial categories.
and
We're
look, I
not
mean,
talking about actual colors. We're talking
yeah,
about groups of people.
yeah.
Right. So the thing is, that's what I'm talking about when we're dealing with racial categories. You have a black
It's hard. It's
people.
hard to give yourself a racial category when there are, you know, if you say black, yeah, we understand African American. If you say brown, you need to kind of include everybody else that is brown.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
who
no
calls themselves
offense,
brown though?
no
That's what I
offense,
want
but you are then
Yeah,
not
no,
only a single entity anymore. But
no,
that by me might be my white perspective of it, and
to know. And see
you know,
the white one. That's interesting too because these things, and like I said, this is the stuff. These are the reason why a lot of people don't get into it because it is what they call emotional because it's a division point and it's a point of where deception can come into. Now, it's true. I'm not saying that because I'm someone that is going to say I'm black and proud, but I do understand what that means. It's not an actual color, and this is what I'm saying that confuses a lot of people because like even a white
it's an
person,
identity.
I mean black
right?
is a color. You
Well,
can't
no,
make
it's not
other color.
actually.
You can't make other colors without black. White is the
No,
absence of color.
no, not really. If you see, that's what I mean. That's why it gets confusing. They use
What
these things.
happens when
We're
you
talking, now, let
what
me prove this to you. Let me prove this.
Yeah, guys, I'm
what
more.
happen what happens
Huh?
what happens when you mix white? What happens when you mix black with white? It becomes gray.
Yeah,
Okay.
but if you
Okay,
mix brown with white, it becomes light brown.
Right.
it's still brown.
Yeah, it's
It
still
it
brown.
becomes
It's
it
just a
becomes a
lighter
color.
shade of brown.
It
Yeah,
yeah, it becomes a color.
yeah.
White is the
Oh,
absence of color.
not
Well,
really.
the thing is,
De-
it's this
de-
way.
depending on how you look,
This okay.
depending on how
Well,
you put it. Like if you put all colors together and you start spinning it, not mixing it, just spinning the colors, it turns white. But if you mix all the colors, they turn black. You know how you take a prism, it has no color, and you shine light through it, and all colors come out.
A prism is
Yeah,
clear.
yeah, prism is
well,
clear. So it's
so,
just yeah. I'm just playing around a little bit.
Fiddling around.
no,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
see,
yeah.
that's what I mean. Y'all talking about actual colors. That's what's so confusing about this terminology. When we're talking about racial categories, you're not
And
talking
who
about
Yeah,
actual scientific electromagnetic colors.
But then if you're
Okay,
talking about
but who
racial
ca-
categories,
you cannot use
but
the
who can't
same. You can't use the
but
same
metric.
but then you
ways
would have to do it like
actual
in
colors mix.
Black American, that's how they
So
do it.
so
They
so
combine
who
it with a nationality. I don't
so
know.
who came up with racial character
There we go.
categories?
That's what I'm talking about.
I
We need to
I
get into the
I
people.
would venture to say it would be David's people.
Hmm?
I would venture to say it's David's people. Gottlieb, the guy that you
Oh,
played that
yo,
was
yeah, that's
speaking.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, his people.
Well,
I
we
believe they
can
the
look
ones who
and see,
came up with the color.
but that I think that's where we got to focus. I used to remember the one who they give credit to it. Yeah, let me see if I can find it. But yeah, but the thing is that a racial category though is not an actual color because your children who were between you and your wife, and you know this, right, Leroy, and it, but your actual children born, they can have different actual colors as far as
Yes.
the hues, but they're still the same racial category.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
that's because someone came up with this racial construct and it's
well, I mean, but
it has
it's
stuck
a
for a very long time.
well,
Because before that, people were known by where you are from.
I
well,
don't think people cared that
Because
much
people
back then.
stayed in their groups. I mean, when you look at the Old Testament, God told Esau, don't be messing with them Canaanite women. What did he do? Go out and get a Canaanite woman. I don't know if she had a horn. I don't know what she had, but they knew she was a Canaanite. She probably came from Canaan. I don't know. Maybe they had 3 fingers. Who knows? I'm just saying it was something about them, and I'm just using the Canaanites as an example. You can pick any other group. It was something specific about them that you would recognize that. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's
As
Egyptian.
as
Or that
soon as somebody started race mixing, meaning that one race would consider itself either inferior or superior to the other race, then uh, that would, and I think that's been around for ages, though, race mixing. So
I guess it's
before
good.
document, I mean, there's a lot of it in America, and it's just some things gone well,
America
some
is
things don't.
overrun with it.
Yeah, yeah, but that's what you expect. I mean, that's what America is now. America is
Hey,
a country of immigrants.
hey, James, you forgot the part where y'all didn't pay us when you were talking earlier about slavery and all that. You forgot the
Mm-mm.
part to mention that we didn't get paid.
Right.
No, 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 no,
You
no.
left that out.
No, but the thing is, all of you that are now alive
Don't,
are
don't do it.
descendants of those who didn't
Get
who were
paid.
eradicated. No, who were eradicated.
Oh no, they weren't eradicated. If they were eradicated, we wouldn't be here.
Right.
No, yeah, yeah, but that's what I mean. It's just like you survived the entire ship. Your family and survived the entire ship ride, which I think
Yeah.
what like 40% just got tossed over the side, and then you survived the trade in and the work, and then somebody in your family was allowed to uh, uh, procreate, have sex, have children, so it's
Or
and
allowed. How about told?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Look,
Made to
you
procreate.
know, I'm not trying to provoke anything here by saying
Oh
it
yeah,
some way
no,
or
no,
another.
no, no. I'm
Speak
just
honestly.
correcting the record.
Yeah.
That's all.
Speak
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah, yeah,
We don't want to be like funny.
yeah, yeah.
We don't want to
Um,
be perjuring ourselves.
No, but this right here, this Johann Friedrich Blumenbach, they give him credit for coming up with the racial
Say,
construct, and they say
say
he's
his
from
name
Germany.
again.
Johann
Johann
Friedrich Blumenbach.
Friedrich
sounds like a German.
Blumenbach.
Yeah, that says he's a German
Yeah,
person.
he
Oh
German.
yes.
What kind of German?
Well, I don't know. Let's see.
No, back
Mm.
it was just a German.
Yeah, I bet.
So 18th century German Johann Friedbach studied how individuals will. All right, so
Yeah.
his theory. Anyway, they said that he came up with this.
Yeah, as an
But
anthropologist.
I know for a fact that there's different categories, like the different aquiline, even in white peoples, they had the Slavs, they had
But it
even
was some.
various categories or stocks within that. So, you know, there you go. Because I guess they were doing horse breeding or breeding of animals. So they
Horse.
figured like maybe we should breed the best and most powerful and pure, human.
Aryan.
The Aryan. Yeah, that was their thing. So, there we go. Somebody put some power behind it. So we're going to enforce this because we're going to make this happen. And here it is. So, but see, the one thing about the racial categories is they transcend nationalities. Like a white person is white in America, they're white in Europe, they're white in Australia, they're white in wherever.
Well, if
And
you're white, you're white, are you?
right. You see how that does?
Like,
But
I mean, I just went from Thailand where I was white. I flew to China where I was white. Now I'm in Germany where I'm white. So,
I mean, that's not.
but the
Is it
same thing
different
for
for a
you,
black
Mike.
person? Yeah,
No, it isn't.
it's
So,
not.
no, I don't think so.
How so?
Well, if you're in
I mean,
Thailand, you're black. When you
yeah,
fly to China, you're black, and if you fly to Germany, you're black.
and that's
right.
why I said
Now,
it's the same for us.
but yeah, but like for me in Germany, I'm not coming here and going like I'm white. I come here and it's just like I'm here. It's just
You're just
it.
an
But
American. In
Yes,
Germany, are you an American?
me, I'm an American. Yeah, yeah.
In
But that's
Germany.
not my race. Oh
No,
yeah,
no,
I'm an
no,
American.
no. I
I'm
no,
an
know
but
that.
that's
American
your
in Germany
that
too.
would be your nationality.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm also an American wherever I fly to. I don't have
Yeah.
the privilege of being anything else, unfortunately. I'd love
Right.
But
that
one,
privilege.
but one group manages to have dual citizenship, and some of them even have triple citizenship.
Yeah,
Uh,
unfortunately, I don't have that privilege. I'm white though, so
yeah, you're
gotta be
not
enough.
James. You're not getting the most potential out of your white privilege. You got to work
I
on
am not. I'm trying. And it's fine though. It's so much more fun not having all this white privilege. You know,
Yeah, it's
it's
fun
good.
being yourself, just being accepting your own and being yourself. The thing is, though, what this is what I wanted to kind of do some of this show for. I wanted to put a name. I wanted to put actual kind of faces. For example, just like we did with the racial categories, you be like, we just how people just come up with well, I guess they just made it up and it was them. We just come no, let's go and find them. Let's put some names behind this stuff. Who
I,
is the
I,
one that
I,
deceived the world? Because when
well,
we just say anything sometimes, which and I know these, and it's true. Satan, yes, it's true. Lucifer, okay, that's true, but it's still not giving us any kind of focus because you can't solve a problem that you can't really see or know about. You don't see that problem. You
I
can't
put some.
explain that to people, really, and them get it.
Well,
You know what
not.
I'm saying? They just won't. I mean, we can argue about what they won't, but we've
I
been
mean,
getting all
look.
the time.
Just because they
This is a part of
just
your. This is a part of the deception category.
yeah,
If
but just
you can't understand what I'm showing you or trying to show you, you can't show me. Then you may
that's on
have.
them.
You're only going to have probably about 2% to 3% of the people that you try to verbally explain something to who gonna get it. The other people, they're just not gonna. You got to show people stuff.
But
This is just
it's uh,
it is what it is.
at but at what point does it fall on them? I mean, you
Okay,
can
well, if
explain it.
see
Look,
when you say that
look, it
though,
doesn't need. it doesn't even matter what the subject is. If you explain it and they don't receive it, and this is, taken for granted that whoever is doing the explaining is being honest, then, at some point it has to fall on the other person to accept it.
Okay,
Just
but
if
at
you
what point?
explain it, go ahead.
So let me ask you this here. So we're gonna just bring this into something like, let's just say, the religious realm. So, okay, the God will send a prophet or some sort of holy person or teacher before he's going to drown these people in the flood, before he's going to bomb you up with some ash and some bomb, something that comes from the,
Asteroids and whatever
yeah,
else.
whatever that, some flood or something that you're gonna get rid of your whole group of dirty people with because y'all is sinning or doing something crazy. He
Gonna
gonna
send
send somebody,
Israel in
right,
there.
to try to, explain it to you. Like, hey, stop doing that. It's bad.
Yeah.
Don't do it. So now, but if let's say he sends somebody who don't even speak their language, you're not going. You got to be able to try to explain something to people in the that person who God sent. They're going to do the best they can, and they're going to keep trying sincerely. It's not going to be like he won't. They're not going to have the oh well, I tried. Shoot, they're not going to be like that.
What you
They're going to be
mean?
like, any way that I can explain this to these people, because they're going to want to save those people. Because so
Nah.
the point that it falls on those people is this point, when they actually do understand. Okay, that's when it falls on them. But if
Huh?
you, yeah, when that person actually understands what you're saying, when that person actually understands and gets what you're saying, and they do
Okay,
understand,
okay, okay.
yeah,
You know what? I see what you're saying, but we do have to include that, a person may understand what you're saying and still refuse to accept it.
that's when it
I
falls
mean,
on them.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we get that part. I'm
So
just
we
saying
don't,
in
we
general
can't
that,
say that just because they don't listen to you at first, they didn't even hear you, because a lot of times, most of the times, all of the truth tellers, if you notice, they're all rejected at first. They have to work
yeah.
hard because they're all going to be saying something that is not normal for the people to hear. So that's not even just Bible truth tellers. That's pretty much, any new thing, any new
I mean,
truth.
it doesn't even have to be new. It could just be what is
Oh yeah,
true.
just something like you said, just something that is new to them. It's something that they hadn't heard. Something that to them seems out
Foreign.
of out of the picture, but it's
I
actually
don't
true.
know.
Yeah, like, oh, get out your house. Here's a flood
It's
that's
on
coming.
fire.
No, they say, okay, if it's on fire, that's something they can probably see real quick. But let's just say, oh, there's gonna be a hurricane coming. Leave, man. I ain't hearing that. Let's say a hurricane hadn't been there in 10, 20 years.
Oh, or how about this one? It never rained, and Noah was like, "Hey
So there
man,
you go.
I'm
It's gonna
telling
rain.
y'all, hey,
Of course you're gonna
100 years
laugh
he
at
was
him.
telling these people, huh?
Now, why wouldn't they laugh at him?
Because I mean, they had. What you mean is what is rain? What are you talking about, Noah?
That's my point. Why wouldn't they laugh? Because they're
Oh
gonna
look,
show
that
all the evidence.
I'm sure that wasn't the only thing he was telling them. He was telling them that, hey man, y'all out here fornicating with these Nephilim and y'all ain't pure. You need to get in line and whatever else. And yeah, I'm building. He told me to build the ship. I'm building it,
You
man.
know they were laughing.
Oh yeah, sure they were until it started raining. And they're like, oh snap, and it didn't stop. And oh snap, They start banging on the ark door like them clowns that was in Sodom and Gomorrah that was banging on Lot's door,
So you
but there
tell
wasn't no
people to
getting in.
stop voting and do something else, then they're gonna laugh at you.
Oh yeah, that's why we got Mark Davis and
Yeah,
Cornelius
all that same
Tarver
stuff.
and these
Yeah, but
clowns.
the thing is, it's like, now, have you heard of King Leopold?
James,
Uh,
The third.
no, I think it's the second one who did that.
Yeah, they weren't all too very good.
So
Small
I didn't know
kingdoms.
anything about the Belgians hardly.
Yeah, they went. They
they,
had their. They all had their little history of genocide and doing what. You look at They all colonized. Holland colonized Africa. Germany, Nazis colonized Africa.
oh yeah,
Um,
everybody came in.
everybody came for a little bit. Meanwhile, America was still in the 17th century. Um, yeah, there's the Johann Blumenbach. He was born before America was founded. He was like 36 when America was founded.
Right.
Well, and then it's just like, I don't even think was the slave trade going already there? I don't.
Oh
Sorry, I
yeah.
don't have that. I
Yes,
shouldn't. I
yes, it
1555.
shouldn't.
was.
I
Yeah,
shouldn't say stuff like that. I just don't have
Why
the
not?
dates in my mind. Excuse me.
I mean, if you didn't know, it's fine.
Um,
So
man. Look,
yeah, we're going.
if you don't know, that's you just don't know. It's not.
no,
You don't have
I
to
just don't keep.
apologize.
I just don't keep every date in my head anymore. It's just like
Right.
the internet's there, and I'm just like, when did? No, okay, boom, here dates.
So
It's
so
all there.
so
I don't
so
need
you
it in
might
my
as well
brain.
download your consciousness. That's what
Hmm?
Elon Musk wants you. You might as well download your consciousness, because your
Yeah.
brain doesn't work anymore. It's not really holding the information. You could just use a Google.
Um,
Google can be your brain.
yeah,
No,
but
no, 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 no.
that's the
Get
information I don't need. There's still daily information that I need. That's like, what's the temperature of the refrigerator? What's the pressure of the vessel? What's this? Things that are
Google
really
can figure that
important,
out for you.
So,
no,
so that
sir. You
somebody doesn't
just
get their arm blown off.
no. You need to get your Neuralink.
Neuralink.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, no.
exactly.
Yeah,
I
it'll
gotta get
solve all your
myself one of
problems.
those. I gotta get myself one of those robots that just, well, one of those wall talk things, that you can talk to. That's not your wife.
Okay.
Oh, Alexa.
Yeah, but like not. Yeah, everybody has Alexa or Siri. I'd like to have my own something. Can you rename them?
Probably. I don't
Ri-
know.
Yeah. How about call it trouble?
Anyway, yes. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna make myself a tea. Thank you for
Okay.
having me.
No problem.
Leroy, Mike, I'll be out.
All right,
Talk to you
James.
next time, huh?
All right.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yep.
Thanks for coming up too. No, but this here, if you get a chance, watch this whole thing. But
What's that?
everybody should know about King Leopold II. At least, just the Belgians, how the Belgians colonized Congo, stole the resources. But it's
The
more
rubber.
modern, because this is how they still do it today. I'm gonna drop it in the link there, but let me drop it over on Facebook. But this is the way that these people, uh, the way that he did Belgium, excuse me, Congo, is how they do it nowadays. I think they really low key congratulate him as being the modern way to colonize, the modern way to steal. So when Africa and all these other countries and people start getting their independence, uh, they were able to basically give them their independence, so called, of course, without giving them their independence, based on his model. Basically, what they did here is, now, yeah, and this is I dropped the video so y'all could just look at it a little bit. But so basically, King Leopold, they show he was born, the little monarchy, him marrying his sisters and cousins, they all incest and all that crap. So anyway, he
Cousin.
Yeah,
Truckers.
that's what they do. All right, so they over there at the end of, and they kind of go. I have a book here called King Leopold's Ghost. I read a long time ago, which was actually very good. People should read that, the King Leopold's Ghost. But they are the ones that actually, heard of the Rwanda genocide.
Yes.
Okay, and then you see the Tutsis and the something else. I forgot what they call themselves. Okay, those people are resulting from King Leopold. He used deceptions when he came to Africa. He split them up. It's just like us. That's why when when we hate Fanny and Roland and Mark Davis and all of these other people.
Hate.
Well,
Hate
no,
is
I mean
such a
it's basically
strong
kind of
word.
like when we
Dislike or
we
disagree.
we jump on them, which we should, because they're doing evil enemy work, stuff like that. But this is a technique from these people. This is how they
Spreading deception.
right, because they can reckon that every society has various types of personalities, and you're going to have that kind of personality that's more susceptible to these sorts of incentives, which they need to money and all that kind of stuff. You're going to have a certain type but if left alone, then those same people would help their own society. They would be loyal to their own society. But because
Yes.
yes, but they don't. But so it's really the presence and the interference of the outside force that that leads us to have to you know
Leads
be
to that
against
division.
these folks. But we need to understand that these people are not the source. Usually, they're not the source. Okay, even though, like I said, don't. It's just like if you look at the Matrix, they told you, some of these people, they will fight just as hard to keep this system alive. So you have to deal with them the same way you deal with the enemy, but at the same time, you need to know where the root is coming from. You know, but this is he would create these little organizations, and those organizations, like the Congo Free State, it would always have freedom, the opposite of what he was actually doing. It was
Yes.
the Congo Free State, or the Society for the Advancement of the Congos, and all of this stuff. But he's talking about, oh, we're fighting the Arabs because they running a slave trade.
Hey, here's one.
Mhm.
The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People.
Exactly. Exactly. This is what they did. No, seriously. And it was started, that right there was started around the same time this was going on, because this was going on in like the 1900s, the 1880s, 1890s, and right up to the modern times, almost, not, to like the 1905, 1910, and stuff like that.
What you
This is
mean?
how, huh?
Up until right now.
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
talking about specifically for Congo, but we can look
oh,
at
okay.
this and you will see, yes, it is up until now, but you will see the
Mm-hmm.
similarities, because they will always be talking about, oh, save the children, for 5 cents a day, you can feed these people or whatever. And,
Now,
instead of, and
now
I
they
always,
don't even.
as a child, I was thinking, like, how come y'all don't just, if they don't know how to farm, teach them how to farm?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
I was little and thought about that, but
But
obviously,
now, but now, look. Now they don't even show those commercials. It's about saving a dog,
right,
or
dogs.
or some particular type of Ukrainians. I don't know
Yep,
if you've seen those commercials, but
yeah.
they don't have. What happened to UNICEF?
There you go. Yeah.
Oh
So
man.
this is what they're doing now. But like I said, I'm trying to get to this one. They would use the money from the Congo, building up his
Belgian prestige in Europe and the wider.
Look at that. Look at that rock. Look at that stone. All of that. They was broke. They was broke. And then he started building all this stuff, so they consider him a great man. But he committed a greater genocide than Hitler because he was enslaving those folks. He didn't call it slavery, but he would make them work, and he would steal their wives and their daughters. If they didn't work, then he wouldn't give them back. And then, they didn't work fast enough. They chopped their hands off and stuff.
Wow.
This is what they did, and beat them and all kind of stuff. So this is what they were doing. I want to get to this one part just to show. But guess who exposed them? Let's see. Who exposed them? Let me see. So they would use the skin from a rhinoceros and make a particularly harsh whip out of it. And that whip, they would just basically whip them people to the bone.
Out of rhinoceros skin.
Europe. Before the construction of the railroad, the journey from Leopoldville to Matadi took 3 weeks.
So he would name all that stuff in their land after him. This is what they do too. They let them name
Oh,
things.
that's mine now.
Yeah.
What shall we call it?
Yeah. Call it after me so these people remember me. See, I name you like a dog or something, like you mine, my property. Your part. So this right here is part of how. So you see these guys in there. This is the uniform. This is how he started them. So you don't want to be beaten and made to work, right? Don't you want to be the one that? Because see, they couldn't get enough people, white people, to come there and run that place because they started having rebellions and stuff. So they had to hire some of the black people to help them. The force publique. See, protecting the free state. Now, the Congo is about 80 times bigger than Belgium. So they were just stealing.
Hostile tribes. The force publique served.
See, one white man, but they all, taking orders from him. So that way they can keep those working blacks under control.
Get in line.
To maintain internal order and to coerce African laborers working for the Free State. Leopold's colony faced frequent rebellions, such as one in 1893 near the rapids of the Lower Congo, led by a local chief named Nzansu, when the Belgian state agent Eugène Rommel.
You see, so you have a legitimate leader, your local chief, who tries to let's take our land back.
Attempted to recruit porters by force to carry goods to Matadi. The chief led an uprising, which killed Rommel and burned his station, remaining at large for 8 months before the rebellion was suppressed by the force publique. Leopold also hoped to use.
Yeah, see. So, I mean, like I said, this is a pretty good little thing because it shows you this is how the deception works. That's why I always say a lot of times it is the fact that they got this deceptive little haze on everybody, and they use scripture in our society. But what they do is they because they have the media, because they have the so-called authority figures, and people have to go and get a license to teach scripture. You know what I'm saying? Your preacher, they got to go get a license. Is your preacher licensed?
Yeah, they go to the theological cemetery.
Now, think about that. If I don't give you a license, what that means?
Then that if I catch you doing it, you illegal. That's what
or,
it means.
Or I can delegitimize.
But notice I said cemetery. I did not say seminary.
I know. Yeah, they can delegitimize you though.
And that's the whole thing.
People respect it. What if you say, "Hey, that school is wrong. This is the way to understand it, and here's why." don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're it's like practicing medicine without a license.
See,
You know,
so
you
now
illegal.
as soon as that happened right there, that tells you what that really who can and now who controls that state. Now you see this state is sending all this money over to somebody else, over to Dovey's people, who's trying to create a new world with no blacks.
Or Palestinians.
Yeah, I mean, but that's like Cain and Abel to me.
More like Esau and Cain
Yeah,
and
they just
Ishmael.
yeah, they that's something because there's some issues with both sides of that. But I'm just saying they like brothers. And they
Oh,
just
absolutely.
yeah,
But if one of them is able, that would mean one of them is righteous. And yeah,
no,
no,
I mean I wouldn't take it that far. I'm just saying that
they're brothers.
in that
I
way, yeah.
mean, but I mean, you can actually say that the Palestinians are Israelis because that's what they are. They're Israel, whether it the modern nation state of Israel wants to recognize it or not. That's what they actually are.
Well, the thing is though that that Israel, that's who named it that the land. Was that the name of a tribe or the name of the land? See,
That was
they
the name of the people,
see that's my point.
and
And
they
so
were being led to the promised land.
right, but the point is though that is not the land had a name. So we can they and it's different people on the land, the same land, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just we got, I mean, and a lot of we like I said, we have the truth, but a lot of times we got to be careful with how we disseminate some of it because it's coming from, like I said, these the people who have the schools. They're training everybody, and a lot of people are teaching truth, but then sometimes you teach, something that's not actually true because it was taught that way from a seminary. And
Not
then
a
and
cemetery.
nobody but because you believe it, because the people believe it, this is why it's a very difficult thing because that's very just imagine, try like for example, like let's say with the homosexual thing, right? It's obvious by nature it is not a
That-
correct and good situation to be in and to have to deal with as far as let's say that's your motivating factor or whatever. That's
yeah, it's
something
not
that
natural.
yeah, well, I would it's not natural.
Unnatural.
It's not natural. Okay, but the thing is we want to be I say things in a way where people can accept it as best possible. See, that's what I was talking about earlier because we sometimes it is good to just slam people with stuff. But the more important objective is to get the people to hear the truth and as much as possible make it so that they can accept the truth. So
But that's just it, Mike. It's I mean, you can't make them accept it. I mean,
no,
it's
no, no. This one
like you just said,
I don't want
it's
to make them not accept it. Do you
oh, I
understand
mean,
that?
yeah, I get
It's
it.
more
I understand
important.
exactly what you're saying.
But
I'm just saying that
my pride is secondary versus doing the best I can to try to make
it's not
sure
a
that the words are heard at least.
okay, but it's
Of course you're correct. You cannot make. But if I say you know that shit ain't natural, and yeah, I'm saying the truth, but I'm touching them out in process, and
Yeah,
it might be the
you
actual
talking
truth,
about
but like for example, even if you debate with somebody online about some random whatever, this dude, you're gonna say something, and you may technically be telling the truth, but you know what? I just don't like the way you said that, and I ain't gonna even, what I mean?
okay, well, but see, then it's on them. You have
Well,
delivered that.
but the point is, if you poison the word,
You
like you
talking
throw
about
it on the ground,
delivery.
pick it up.
You
It's like,
t-
oh, hey man, you owe me some money. Yeah, I owe you some money. You need to take the $200.
and
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to throw it on the ground, pick it up. Like what? Of course they're gonna pick it up, but they, what I'm saying? And then maybe it's $1 and you throw that on the ground. Maybe they don't pick that up. I'm like, look at you, man. I just ain't gonna deal with you no more. So
yeah,
it's
but
like
you talking about delivery.
that's
How
my
you
point.
how you deliver it, and it can be delivered, various ways. And of course, you want to deliver whatever the message is in a way where they'll be receptive to it.
Right. That's all I'm
It's
saying.
just,
That's
but
something
at
that
the same time, you could deliver the message where they could, in a way where they should be receptive to it, and they won't be because
okay,
they
well
because they
that's when
want to
it's
do
on them. Now I
this.
agree with you. That's when it's on them. But it's not really, it's not you gotta really the condition of the people, all of that stuff is taken into account. And if you're delivering a message, is I think that it's no reason to open our mouths. To me, I'm just saying, I'm trying to communicate something, unless I'm trying to embarrass God. You know what I'm saying? Let's say, oh, I'm a Christian, and then I go out there, or let's say I'm a Muslim, and I'm out there, and they're like, man, you out there cussing people out all over the place. You out there,
Barbecuing ribs, selling rib sandwiches.
stuff, and you saying stuff like I'm gonna say stuff. It's also see because they're saying that's the same situation. It's like, okay, how you judge a tree? Your fruits
By the
are
fruit it bears.
green and nasty language is your fruits and just everything. Now, not like you said. Let's say you done said it nice to the same person, and they're like, man, f that. And then and now, okay, maybe you're gonna try this other approach. Blam, here you go. Y'all ain't right. You're gonna put it down strong. Okay,
I mean,
man. That's how I
yeah,
look at it.
look, you may deliver it nicely the first time they don't receive it. They may
Right.
come back to you in an aggressive manner, and
Yeah,
then that escalates things, and you
yeah,
might not
yeah.
be at the terminology you may use might not be as sweet as
Exactly,
before or kind. So,
exactly.
but that's predicated on them coming at you in return cross, not
But the thing is, like I said, these are the situations that the people you you want to be what they call it is I never understood this, but I think I understand it more. Wise as what's they say? Wise as the serpent, gentle as the
uh
dove.
yeah,
Why they say
wise
that?
as serpent. Yeah.
It's about success. It's not about the enemy. They're winning. They can win the numbers that they win to get the power behind their evil agendas because people think, oh, the truth can stand alone. You know what I'm saying?
It does.
Obviously, you can say that. We can say that all we want to, but the truth seems like it's being buried because the people who speak the truth are not organizing themselves to be able to compete with the well-dressed lie. You
Oh
know what I'm saying?
man.
It used
I
to
mean,
we I
it
mean
don't
we can
matter
talk, but how is it coming out in reality? That's my point.
what's the saying about the lipstick on the pig? It's still a pig. A lie can be
Really?
dressed up in the finest of clothes. It's still a lie.
Okay,
That's why I dropped all them names in the chat.
but that dress it took the time to dress itself up. That's how the world is being deceived. It's still a lie, but people eating pig, people
And that, and that,
people are accepting lies. People are. That's my point. If the people don't understand, there is the truth, but there's also the delivery. There is a technique that is also important. I wouldn't say just as important, but I say it is important. It is important to you don't just come any kind of way because even let's say a church. Let's say a church.
oh
Okay,
boy.
the pastor of that church, he's probably a good person, really good person. He's working, he never steals, but he's speaking and teaching. But nothing. We're not seeing nothing special come out of that church. But then we got somebody, they maybe molesting some little kids in the church or something. But they started a little school. They got them a little school, and then they go in and they back the Democrats to spread the COVID vaccine. But then here they come with let's have a social at the church. Let's have
And that's when you go in there and you start turning
people.
over
Hey, I'm trying to
the
tell you.
tables of the money changers.
Okay, so and you can say that, and the people like the word says, he said, "Hey, you can if you're not a clear delivery, basically you if you don't you can not say nothing to them, but you can't even get to them to say something if you don't attract them. I'll say it that way. If you don't have nothing that's going to catch the eye, or because the people are in a state of ignorance, so that you're going to
Okay.
expect ignorant behavior from ignorant people. So that initial, I guess interaction, I'll say it that way. It's important. I think it's important to do anything legally. When I say righteously, I'll say anything righteously possible. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We don't cross lines, but I'm just saying anything righteously possible, when dealing with people, why not? That's how I look at it. And communicating, because communicating is just part of that's part of human nature. And like there's a lot of information. Like let me see here. I had this one dude. Well, there's a one person that they I don't know, they just like to be anti everybody, but I think they're doing it for money. But you can tell. To me, I don't know.
Oh, Jesse
I'm
Lee
not sure
Peterson.
they're doing certain things for money, but it just seems like it because it's real convenient. You ever heard of that dude? That's what's it called? His name is shoot.
Jesse Lee Peterson.
Well, yeah, him. Yep. See, that's one. That is one. Yeah, but it's another guy I was thinking about. Young Pharaoh. You ever heard of him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I have.
Yeah, and the guy who called him, his name was Seti. But these guys, I think they.
How about Leonard?
Oh, is that
Char- Charlemagne the fraud.
Well, Starlemagne definitely he's being paid, and
Oh,
he is
absolutely.
fraudulent. He is fraudulent. But look at how
Very.
Charlemagne does it. He switches back and forth. See, if we don't understand that, you got to put certain things in certain ways. Even God's creatures in nature know that. They're like, okay, I'm gonna put a peacock here. I'm gonna do a dance for my mate. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm gonna get some prey. I'm gonna put a little light in front of my mouth. I'm gonna catch me some prey. I'm gonna hide so the thing feel comfortable until the right moment. I'm gonna catch it. It's like
Right.
these are the things. Even this is nature. You just gonna come straight up there with the truth. Now y'all know damn well y'all shouldn't be doing this homosexual stuff. Y'all do what we did. This is thus saith the Lord. Now these people they're gonna believe in their lie or their misbehaving. They're gonna believe it with their heart.
Look, I've seen street preachers on YouTube at gay festivals,
Right.
delivering the message with love and
Now that's what
kindness, and they getting spit on and yelled at and called every
not
name in the
all of them.
book, and not all of them, but
And that's all you need to know. Of course, you're gonna have rejection. And now,
okay.
if people rejected Jesus, come on, man, what chance do you have? That's what I be wondering. I'm like, you're gonna get rejection because that's how
Yeah, but
yeah,
but some people are turned, meaning they
right,
receive it, and it's
right,
not going to be like that with every person, or else it wouldn't be
exactly.
so many
And a
of
lot
them.
of times that's why I keep talking to some of these people because sometimes the one who's going to reject, they're going to reject anyway, but they putting up all these arguments, right? But they don't know that they're actually serving to help you because by you sometimes presenting these weak, stupid arguments, you at least get the chance to kind of really go into
Practice.
some of the information because there's no other reason. You know what I mean? Sometimes if someone just accept, oh well, you're telling the truth, then you're not going to talk further to really get into the information. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe you get that one person to understand something, but anybody else coming behind there listening or reading or whatever, they don't see nothing else there. But when you got that one person that's always nah, okay, nah, and maybe you take a few more steps with them, now you got a record, that people can read through. So I mean, I just was going through that because, like I said, I ain't really got on here in a little while. I'll be doing I do some I had this other little channel, so like I said, it's just all math and science on that one. But I use this too to get out of the regular YouTube algorithm because with YouTube especially, they will keep you they will keep you in they will only keep certain kind of information coming to you. And
Yeah,
yeah, like if you get into a whole different little circuit, I should say, an algorithm, then you'll see totally different things on YouTube.
yeah. They Elon Musk said freedom of speech is not the same as freedom of reach.
Mm. Now that's deep.
Yeah,
So
I
there you
mean
go.
it's disturbing. I don't know. I wouldn't go deep. It's disturbing because he's telling you what it is. You can say what you want. That don't mean it's gonna reach everyone you want.
Right. Exactly.
And he's making sure of that with
Right.
his Satan costume. I think I put his name in the list, didn't I?
Oh
I
yeah.
think I did. Yeah, put several names down there.
Yeah, but that's a house. That like remember how they was even in the Bible it tells you that, these names represent nations, just like with Esau and Jacob. We're looking at them as like individual people, but it tells you right there, it's nations. These are this is a these are societies like Cain and Abel and even Adam, they call their names Adam. Those are not necessarily dealing with just individual person. You're talking about like nations. And so when they're looking at, you know, uh, you know, these houses, of course, like, you talking about these little Satans and Lucifers and stuff, you're dealing with multiple people in these little things that they got probably to be sitting up here doing their little rituals and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Burning little owls and fire and all this type of stuff. They keep that stuff hidden. You know what I mean? Just weirdo stuff they be doing somewhere. I mean, people are doing this stuff all the time. And I tell people like this: all you got to know is you got the Buddhist monks. That's all you should have to see to realize that there are groups in this world of people doing stuff, holding all kind of information and doing, y'all don't just because so a lot of times people think just because we didn't see something, oh wow, people ain't doing that. Man, it's people, they training up kids. You can look right here on the internet. Them monks, they got them kids twisted up, beat them, make them, train them for pain.
or to suck on the Dalai Lama's tongue.
Okay, that's possible too, but I don't. That's probably some of that's going on too. But a lot of times, I'm just saying that stuff yeah, the Dalai Lama, like where is that being taught at? Somebody learning that. And the thing is, we seen the Dalai Lama's tongue get sucked, but guess what? How many times you didn't see
That it happened,
it?
right?
That's all I'm saying. Like people like there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a whole bunch of ancient little orders, and it just is what it is. And like I said, so we need to know that it's important to know that there's a lot of people building stuff, just like you said in Ethiopia. If you look at those temples that they have that they carved out of rock, the man told
Yes.
God told him to do it, and he did it. So I'm like, who gonna argue with him?
Sure.
God didn't tell me to carve some stuff out of rock, because I guess if he did, I would have carved them. So, because what else going to motivate somebody to do that? And if you look at those temples, they got a solid mountain. You can carve a building out of that. That's interesting to me. But yeah, so the world though. Now I'm about to end this off because we just, like I said, we're just kicking it a little bit. But like the world, my thing is with deception, I think it's good to put names on it. Yeah, put names on it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
but the world is what man created, that is on the earth. And
yeah,
I mean, just look at before b- before he made Adam. When he finished, he looked around and said, yes, it's all good. Everything's great. This is it. They gonna love it. And then they got in here and ruined it.
yeah. Well, didn't he know that?
Oh, yes. He
So
knows
yeah,
all.
yeah. So
And
that's
that,
what we gotta think about that too. That's on purpose. On what purpose is it on though? And that's
I
just
mean,
so that also teaches me that just because God allows something to happen doesn't mean it is something that, for example, God allows Satan to exist. But should I? Oh, so that means God let him exist, so I should follow? No. uh,
oh
no.
boy.
There's a testing mechanism
Well,
out
it's
here.
not love if he, just made everybody conform.
Well, yeah, but
That's not true
there's a
love.
purpose. Maybe I don't know the full reason of the purpose, but there's a purpose. Like, I mean, I'm sure a zebra is trying to figure out how come the same God that made me made this damn lion. Yeah. And this
And
ain't
he's
right. And the
why
grass
he
is
made
probably
this line and bite my leg.
right. And then the lion is like, if you want me to eat the zebra, God. How come you made these legs?
These
Let,
tasty
let me
humans.
let me just get it. So there's a testing mechanism. we still gotta be careful.
Yeah, especially these days. I mean, it
Exactly.
ain't even really about being careful. It's just about recognizing,
Right.
what the terrain is, because
I'll show you. Since you here, I'm gonna show you what we. You seen I was dealing with Mark Davis.
oh boy,
Let me see. What am I doing?
yeah. I called you earlier because I talked to your boy Patillo today.
Oh, really? Oh,
Oh
yeah.
boy, is the hell?
Oh, somebody jumped Cam Newton.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Oh my God. Cam Newton gets jumped
No,
at his
no, no, no,
own
no, no, no,
basketball
no.
camp. Oh
Damn,
my God.
damn, Cam, that's a hell of a 7-on-7. You need to go back
You
to the
can't get
NFL. You're
jumped at
gonna be
your
getting hit
own
like
camp,
that.
man. I thought he got jumped somewhere else talking slick.
Oh
He's
no,
at
it was
your
during the
camp.
little 7-on-7 competition.
Oh my God. Come on, y'all.
Yeah,
Oh
man.
my goodness. The man from Flint passed away. They poisoned the water in the city.
Yeah.
This man was talking about it. But hold on a second, actually. This is what I wanted to. So Mark out here defending Fanny, my
Of
man.
course. Just simping. These simps is something else,
But
bro.
I posted this. Where did I do it? He shouldn't have nothing to say. Now, Mark is an idiot. Let's see. Is this it?
That's
No, it's
you. That's the
not
one I
that.
posted.
Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Where's Mark's crap? Oh, here it is. Okay, so here it is. So I posted this, right? So they
Hmm.
lied, their stuff came out with the Fanny thing. Now I'm not really all into this Fanny stuff because to me, but it does show. It does show. See, this is how you know that the the black bootlick is not the root of the cesspool enemy stuff. Because as soon it's like the black bootlick is like the little false tail. Once you catch onto that enemy and start running, they might throw that tail at you. So you pretend like you got me. You got me. Here. So
While
that
they slither on off and you
slither
holding their
on, man.
tail.
The main body is slither on. So soon as so this chick, she thought she was big and bad. She went after Trump. Okay.
Yep.
Now, so here you go. Trump fights back, and now he's always going to try hit you, in the sex. They're always going to come at you about your sexual habits. That's just part of the game. Come on. And
And you
so,
know what? It ain't even so much about the sexual habits. It's you are. I'm gonna expose the fact that you're not clean. You
right,
know.
it's her sexual habits though, but that's kind of how you do it because nobody's situation. If almost anybody, I don't know too many people, even if your little habits are totally legitimate, right?
Mhm.
Nothing illegal, but just exposing it makes the people look at you in a different way.
Oh, absolutely, and they
And
should.
then,
And
for the simple fact, she did like my mayor did, Kwame Kilpatrick. They start putting all that pressure on them stages, in that courtroom, like she puts on other people. And she sat up there. They sat up there and lied under oath, which is a trick because they done sat up there and lied under oath about something that's not even illegal. They just didn't want to say. and now, they done got caught. It looks like they done got caught in the lie.
Oh, absolutely.
Now,
Eh,
now you done purchased yourself, which is a crime.
yes. And now she's trying to use well, yeah, they didn't file that paperwork properly that showed that we were lying. So judge, don't look at that.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to use to
Don't
fight it.
recognize that.
Yeah, because they didn't file it properly. They didn't say no, it's not true. They just said no, it wasn't filed properly. That's what it amounts to, and that's what I was talking to Patillo about. And bro, these simps and the real bootlegs are pathetic. He got to the point and to where he said, "Man, this is nauseating. We talking about this more than I really want to." Well, why don't you want to? Oh, that's right, because it shows everybody that y'all ain't
Man.
shit. As much as y'all put on these fronts, and I'm just trying to get him to deal with the fact that the indictment, it could be any case, Mike. If an indictment gets leaked, those are grounds for whatever is in that indictment to be dismissed. And that happened with this case. And this not saying I'm for or against anyone. This just looking at what happened.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so but the judge decided to let the case proceed. And my question to Patillo was, since he's a defense attorney, uh, would the judge also overlook the fact that this paperwork wasn't filed correctly and still use it? And of course, the answer is yes, because you already deal with the indictment. But he couldn't bring himself to say that because he know what that means.
Look
That
at
she
this here.
perjured
Look at this
herself.
here. I'm just looking at this page now. I just was noticing. Look at their events. So stop Cop City. I can understand that. I can deal with that one because it's a waste of money. You already got police, and
I
then why
mean,
you
look,
going?
why not put it someplace else? That's my whole thing.
I wouldn't even make it. Why? Why? There's there's no investment on the things that reduce the need for all these high power police. Why not
I
invest
mean,
in that stuff? So, but
I
I
just
mean,
if
let's
you know what, I'm gonna ride by there and take a picture of where they train to fight fires, and you might change your mind if you see that spot, man. It looks uh, it's aged. We'll put it like that. That place has been there all my life, and I ain't no spring chicken no more. And it's that,
my
and that's
point
why I
is,
said they can train. It
why do
doesn't
they
have to
need
be in
that?
Atlanta.
That ain't nothing but some place for David's people to come and better train right there in Atlanta to take over. That is a army base to take over the city of Atlanta's black
They
population. That's
could,
what
you
that
know
is.
what? They could have used that, but instead, mayor that looks like us, Kasim Reed, decided to sell it to a fruitcake that looked like us, Tyler Perry, Mister Medill, sold him Fort McPherson. Well, I mean, I don't know if they knew about Cop City was gonna come about then or not, but that would have been perfect. I mean, it would have been in the city, but it's already a location that didn't have to be created out of land that was, not being used for anything else.
I'm against that kind of development. Period. There should not
I
be a
understand.
yeah. There shouldn't even be that, and that right there is a threat. That is a threat because that is a dangerous threat on every really black person in the city and in other
I'm,
cities going to replicate that. But that is a definite threat on black Atlanta, and especially you talking about controlling your people and controlling your money. Do you know what they're going to need to continue to feed that kind of monster?
oh
It-
yeah, no doubt. I mean,
yeah.
man,
So
look,
that right there, and they're going to need more fannies, more sellout chicks like that to continue to just send them over you know, that the type of red meat that they like, because that ain't, you know, that right there. That's what's the problem with the country. You know, they putting all of this into cops who like guess who's gonna join it? Looks like some immigrants want to be cops in the cop city.
Wow. Okay.
So I mean, like that's a setup. That is a straight up setup. If
So
I had a
that's
green
on
light,
March 2nd.
yeah, yeah,
And
but
Free Nick is next.
yeah,
Wow.
but nah, but then they have Freak Nick.
Yeah, not gonna
I'm
happen.
against that. Look at that mess. What kind of? That's what you want the city to be named after? Okay, Spades. Okay, you know, Spades. You know, all right, whatever. That's not that bad. Sleep in their shoes, unhoused for a night. I guess you gotta pretend like you're homeless or something.
Yeah.
Discovering authentic identity and building below. Okay, interesting. Texas Roadhouse Community.
Wow.
I'll just
I've
say
been
there
doing
a
a
bit.
project for me.
Spiritual surrender. Who's doing this?
Probably Jamal Bryant. Somebody who out here giving
South of
shouts
Bed
outs.
High.
Huh?
They're coming to Snellville.
Hey, have you seen that clip of Jamal Bryant at World Changes Ministry talking about all the black women of the past, and he named Sojourner Truth and Harriet Tubman and Ida B. Wells and Mary McLeod Bethune Cookman, and he said, and I'm gonna need y'all to pray for our sister right now in this city, Fannie Willis.
Oh my God.
I'm
Oh
like,
my
bro, you
God.
got to be kidding me.
This
Oh,
woman was messing with a married man.
man, I can see you some clear. There's some other preachers out here. Look. You're aware the first time she went to church?
Uh-uh. Or when she
Okay,
went up there
well,
talking about she ain't perfect.
yeah, and God, I don't know why your imperfect child and all that mess. And the next week, some more came out on her. She went to
Mm.
church earlier this week. Well, not earlier this week, the beginning part of last week on Monday, and somebody else gave her an award. And bam, she get on the stand and perjure herself, and more comes out. So I'm looking for something else to come out this week because she done got blessed again by the black church, and we got to stand with our sister.
Why? Like they just. I mean, they
It's
just become nothing about what's right and wrong. It's just about what the
color.
Democrats or what somebody tell them to do. Hey, so look what
Or
I
just,
told this man, Mark. So he gonna come out. I posted that and it said on the cover it says they lied. Here come Mark. No, they didn't. They are fake.
yeah.
And so
See, and that's what I'm
Mark,
talking
so
about.
the analysis is from a practicing Atlanta area attorney who's familiar with these people. So right now, I'm gonna have to go with his account, especially since he's speaking on the public record.
Who is that from? Lead attorney?
Yeah, lead attorney.
Oh man, that
So
guy's he almost like a wrestler, but he was laying it down.
yeah, he's all over the place. But did you see some of it?
Oh, no.
Yeah, he was kind of, he got explicit with it, but he's kind of he just analyzed it though. You can,
Yeah.
he gonna make it entertaining for his channel, but I mean he was reading right from the record.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
reading directly from the record. And so and he has the record right up there so you can read it too. So my
Fantasy.
man here, Reginald Henry comes said, Fanny spoke on the public record when she testified. And Mike like, oh, that's a lie. That analysis is from an unnamed private detective. I don't know why you guys insist on lying, but the truth will do.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You have told him what is. If he watches any of these videos that get
But he
posted,
won't watch it. He didn't. He prides himself saying he's not going to watch the video, right?
yes,
So I'm like, okay, you're gonna say it's a private investigator, dude. It's an attorney I'm talking about. So you want to pretend like you don't know what I'm talking about? Okay. So I'm like, this dude loves the comment tactic. He pretend like not to understand the comment. I'm like,
on
dude,
the
if you just watch
video.
the video, he didn't watch it. He claimed he didn't watch it. He claimed he don't want to give us a click. Like that's gonna, help us so
Yeah,
much.
look, they telling me, you doing that to make money. Ain't nobody paying me to post these stories. You playing?
See? Yeah, you trying to make money. That's why I said
Yeah,
this is what also too tells me that's the reason why I say, hey, maybe they are making money, but I don't know. Maybe something because anybody could just say something, So I don't know,
yeah.
but I don't know
What it
because
say?
stuff
That
about
is not what.
not be true.
What did Reginald Henry say? That is not what the data said, bruh.
No, Henry. Let me see.
He's
Mark,
a clown. These are some
Mark
real
Davis,
clowns.
a paid detective that. Oh no! First it says that's a lie. The analysis is from an unnamed private detective. I don't know why you and guys insist on lying. And then Reginald Henry said a paid detective that said he omitted some data. Okay. I'm like, first off, okay, the post is connected to a video. On that video, the Atlanta area attorney who has a YouTube channel and he is giving a perspective on the cell phone data records which were released by AT&T for Nathan Wade's cell phone data. And unless Fannie and Nathan can't explain the over 2,000 calls and over 12,000 texts, at least 35 times, Wade's cell phone stays at Fannie's home all night prior to the time they testified under oath that was this romantic relationship began. I'm going to believe they lied.
Yeah, really. I mean, and this not hard to see. I mean, good night.
now, and then I said, now her explanation is if her explanation, and I give them an out, I say, hey, I'm not perfect either. If her explanation is plausible, then I may change. And
That is not what the
here
data
goes
said.
Henry. That's not what the data said. I'm like,
Right.
okay, first
See,
of all,
and these are people who
know?
don't want to engage.
How you know what the
Don't want
data said?
look.
That's number one. Then I say these people are reading right from the documents. I'm reading the documents with them. Also, the investigator is named. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. He gave Michael some with a CH.
Well, it's Charles Middlestadt.
That's it. My bad. Charles Middlestat. That's it.
Yeah. And then here you go. Oh no, it's not named. And he's like, you need to start reading the paperwork instead of looking at videos. I'm like, bro, I'm like, so I posted the address of the investigator's name. I was like, go to
Give him a
Sandy
call.
Springs. I said, go to Sandy Springs and prove Charles Middlestat a lie, since you say
Yeah.
he's not named.
wait,
So
wait. Go back to the bottom. It said go down a little bit.
what?
Other way. Stop.
Okay.
I won't have to do that. I'm sure my sister Fanny got that
Yeah.
handle.
Yeah, I said go over there to Charles Middlestat and prove Charles alive. Then he's the one who got the records. And I posted the Google Maps of where he at. And here go Michael. I won't have to do that since I'm sure my sister. Is that your sister, Fanny? Oh, so they got boule ties, maybe.
Yeah, they
But
got some kind
Sister
of damn
Fanny
time.
got that handled.
Nah, he didn't say handled. Handle. And I done
Yeah,
told him that I'm
handled.
like, dude, proofread. Proofread. It's okay to correct
Right,
what you
right,
put. It's not a problem. But when
right.
you don't, you just make yourself sound stupid. And yeah, typos happen. Everybody understand that. But you know, if you see it, fix it.
Yeah,
He don't even
yeah,
want to do that. Just lazy.
yeah. This dude. Yeah, so that's what's happening out here.
Yeah,
A bunch
Fanny
of
is getting
deception,
Fanny is
storm.
getting cooked.
They got they trying to figure out how to make everybody go vote for them and stuff. It's like, bro, y'all crazy.
Oh, they absolutely are.
That's
Biden won 90. What he won South Carolina by 95%. But what they don't say is only
yeah,
4% voted.
yeah,
So he got 95% or 4%. Great.
right.
That means everybody else gave you the finger. A lot of people gave you the finger and said,
Yeah, and
"Nah, I'm
Trump
good."
Trump won South Carolina too, which is that girl's state. So
Yeah,
she's the governor in that state.
oh, was you talking about Nimarata?
Yeah,
and
yeah, but she.
and
Mhm. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, I
But
was just gonna
that's a
say that
big
she.
deal because if he can beat her in her state where she's well known, it's over for her.
Yes, just
She
like it
has
was
no
over for
chance.
who? Just like it was over for her Indian sister Kamala.
Yeah,
She lost her state, and soon after she dropped off. Oh boy.
yeah. So, but you can see deception out here.
Very much so. Even with
They
him.
put a gag order on Trump.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I mean, the definition of insanity is what? Doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Well, they've tried indicting them as many times as they possibly can, and none of that has worked. So that means try something else.
Well, my thing too is this here. Our problem too, as far as all of this stuff, is just even
Oh
believing
boy.
in this stuff. This stuff ain't gonna make nothing better for this country because this country is damned.
This on your
This
Instagram,
country, huh? No, this is
yeah,
yeah, this is Twitter, X, or whatever it is.
Twitter. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but these people are. It's like how if they look if this country does not pay the reparations, it should be just damned. So
Yeah.
why would we think, as righteous people, God would let a nation that has done is guilty of the evils that it is guilty of, and doesn't want to repair the situation? Why would we think that they're going? He's going to just let that go.
Man, look, man.
So
I
what
was
we a
on
lot of us would be sitting up here thinking that, oh, we gotta save America. Save what? What are you talking about?
man, look, it's
You can't save this. They gotta take the steps of repentance. You know what I'm saying?
they do. They do.
So it's just
And
not. Yeah,
but some of them won't even. I mean,
you can't break them up into pieces either.
it does
It's
help
the
to talk
country.
to people. It does help to talk to people and do try and convey what you want them to accept in a reasonable manner.
Right.
It does help. So I mean, I was just tripping earlier, not being serious, just you know, because today, I was on not on the program, but there was reparations talk. So check this out. This person said reparations were paid after the Civil War. They are owed nothing. Stop trying to rewrite history. The Democrats were the slave owners. If like if some claim the slave owners were paid, ask which Democrats. I told her Not all former slaves received reparations. After Lincoln was assassinated, Andrew Johnson, a Democrat, became president and ended any attempt to provide reparations to the formerly enslaved Americans. Think of it this way: instead of paying Israel, Ukraine, Taiwan, and anywhere else billions of dollars, think what that would do for the economy here, and the stain of racism in our country will be destroyed, and eliminate manipulation Dems use to hoodwink descendants of slaves. But they don't, though. Okay, and she comes back with those who claim got it. What what they did with it is the question. Man,
Yeah.
the number of people who got the 40 acres and a mule don't even minuscule compared to the multitude that didn't get it.
First off, you know, they got the acres and the mule, and then it got
Hmm.
from them. So that's what actually happened, and that's because they had Lincoln and Johnson on the same ticket, and one they had to try to bring the country together. They had Lincoln, and they had a Confederate leader and then a Union leader on the same ticket, which was dangerous because how you
But
gonna
that's
put
how
it,
it was then. That's
huh?
how it was then. That's how it was then. They always
No,
put
no, they just did that. If you look at the records, it was called the it was different parties. It was called the Union Party.
the Whigs and the
No, no, no,
Tories.
no. This was different. This was like so. You're right. The Whigs and stuff was before that, but I'm talking about after that Civil War. The
Oh
the
yeah,
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 the
yeah.
Democrats and
Afterwards,
the Southern uh, Confederate
the the
they
Dixie
formed this
Democrats.
national party. It was the only time that that's on there. It was called the National Union Party or something like that. And that's when you had, of course, Lincoln, and then his vice president was taken from the what you call those people, the Confederate people types. That was to try to unify them. That's the only time that happened. And then, of course, Lincoln gets assassinated. So the Confederate guy is the leader now. That was anybody could have
But
told
you,
you that was gonna happen. Because as
yeah,
soon as he
yeah,
died,
but
I'm president now.
and no more reparations in that. Get that out of here. We
Right.
ain't
So
doing
he
that.
reversed everything Lincoln did right away, and because Lincoln did the what you call that the you know Reconstruction and all this other stuff. And so
But
he
did,
had to reverse that stuff. He couldn't even reverse it right away either. But he started, letting is the eight he reversed the reparations, and then they set it up to where they can reverse and start the little black codes and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's
so
what
but
you know.
here's a typical cop out that they use.
Right.
This is from a different person who responded to what I just read that I said. Um, Sorry, I was not alive when this occurred, nor do I feel responsible. Are they also going to pay me for my ancestors' treatment? The Irish, the Italians, the Polish,
Mm,
all who were slaves or mistreated and indentured as well.
interesting.
I told her indenture is not the same as slave, and you know it. You
Right.
aren't being blamed for slavery. The U.S. government legalized the practice of slavery. Millions of acres of land were given to non slaves by the U.S. government. I wasn't alive either, but if my predecessors would have been treated equally, economic disparity would not be an issue now. Black Wall Street, Starksville, Rosewood, Oscarville, which is present day Lake Lanier, were thriving black communities that were destroyed by anti black whites. Insurance companies refused to honor policies, and banks would not issue deposits. Yet, this same U.S. government doles out billions to everyone else around the world.
Right.
Charity starts at home.
Right. And the thing is that just proves too that the children are not much better than the ancestors. They're not much better than
I,
their ancestors
I mean,
if they
but you
support.
see how I said it to her. I
Right.
wasn't being mean. I ain't call out
No,
the
no,
name.
that's
I'm
like I
just
said,
giving it.
that's the nicest way you can do it because any person with any, legitimate confusion would actually, like, you know what, that makes sense. Because you're not,
Yeah, I mean,
you know, it's just simple, but it's the same, like you said. That's why I'm saying, like, people think that, oh, we gotta save America. Uh, that's just like saying, oh, we gotta save Pharaoh. When God said no, it's time to drown
I
this fool.
mean, hey, if you think about it, Moses was trying to save Pharaoh. He said, "Look, man, let my people
No,
go."
I'm talking about Pharaoh and his little army. Yeah, he's trying to save them,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I
you gotta
know,
listen
I
first.
know,
But once you done
but
set up
it's
there and made God mad where he gonna take you out, you ain't
turn the
saving
river to
that.
blood,
No,
frogs
brother.
everywhere,
Save.
locusts.
Mm.
That's why Egypt is a desert now,
Well,
because
yeah,
of that.
yeah. But the point, yeah, that thing is the main thing is these people, just like you said with the lot, he went down there to try to, you know, see if you can find 50, see if you can find 40, see if you can find one. See, that's one thing a lot of us, the people of God always have a problem with believing, with understanding, like, okay, God has said this thing here, this group, they will be taken out. But God, so nice. Hey, and so he gonna see. That's why it takes a little while sometimes to take the thing down because God actually cares about his people because he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna wait for a minute so y'all understand. But they dead, but y'all still gonna live. So let me make sure you understand why they must be taken out. And so he gonna let them beat us up some more until we get it.
I just saw this person actually, this woman actually said that when it comes to indentured service, she said almost the same exact thing. Indentured servants could be sold, loaned, or inherited, at least during the duration of their contract terms. Today, indentured servitude is illegal in the United States and most other countries, and the legal form of indentured servitude still exists as debt bondage, a form of human trafficking.
See, they always
Uh,
want some of you. They want to finagle away. If you get some reparations, we can get it too.
yeah, and it's like, well, those whether I'm related to them or not, those people were never paid. I just so happen to be related to them, so whatever money that they should have gotten would naturally come to me, and that's why she ain't mentioned anything about the millions of acres I brought up because she knows everything. A lot of people understand what those claims were about. You know what I'm saying? Just head west, you find the spot, plant your flag, it's yours.
Right.
Well, we ain't had access to that. Not like that. I'm sure there was some communities because we did start cities. But I explained what happened to those cities. They were destroyed.
Well, see,
And
that's
then
the point because that's how this nation works. They have to have see what they do, and I said this before, and this is how it is. This thing they call capitalism, it only works if you can steal from a group. You have to have
yeah,
a designated loser, okay, and they have to always lose. Period. Every generation. That's the reason why all these other groups were coming over here because they were basically stealing our inheritance. So now, in every generation, all the work you do, they get to steal it every generation. So they get to keep getting windfalls. Their posterity keep getting it, getting it. And now
I
it's
mean,
like, that's the thing. They look so nice and shiny and everything, all because they've been slush funding off of our stuff.
bro, with anybody, I don't care who it is. If you got 200 years of free labor on the other side, you, your family, and everybody else, gonna be rich as shit because you
If
had
you
free
smart,
labor. You didn't have to pay.
if you smart, but some people, then they're like, well, we got poor white folks too. Dang, that's a dang on shame. Now you know how bad they had to be poor. Now keep in mind, the thing about this. Now in Europe, right? A lot of them so poor. It was so poor, okay, that they had the plague, and they had cesspools because it
Mhm.
would pile up. They would throw the pee out and boo boo outside the window, and it would roll down a hill and collect.
Typhoid fever
Yeah.
and everything.
So then they had a bunch of crime, of course.
Yep.
So
Jack the Ripper,
they
Raper,
don't look like
whatever.
that now because
They clean that up.
they got a little bit of money extra. They realize, oh man, this stealing thing, instead of getting out there and working themselves. But even them, the ones that were kind of rich over there, they had to steal from their what they call peasants. So
And then when they got tired of them, they said, you know what, y'all get on the boat and go to America. We gonna aim back.
right.
We gonna stay here. Send the dregs at the same way, Venezuela and whoever else is emptying their prisons and crazy